Okay. Good morning. Welcome to our historical weapons program for this Monday. This is going to be our last class for the month of December for our historical weapons. We'll be picking up again in January. We have got ourselves to a nice spot to hold up where we have brushed and chopped down. We're going to leave the set there. We're going to go through it a few times, kind of do some review of up to that section. And we're going to add a new repetitive sequence today that is actually going to link into the set next. So we're kind of working on the next piece anyway, and we'll look how it links into that when we come back in the new year. Okay, we're going to settle the feet in the ground and just let the head rise and fall a couple of times. And then we're looking from side to side. And ear to one shoulder and hang. And to the other. Again to the first side. And the second. A couple of gentle half circles in the front. And then a shoulder warm up. So I'll roll those shoulders back. Good, and we can roll the shoulders forward. And we can circle the arms backwards. And we'll circle the arms the other way. Good. And then reach up and hang to one side. And the same on the other. And we'll let the arms go nice and loose, wrapping around the body. And a bit more shoulder warm up, so we'll stretch by pulling one arm across. And we'll do the same on the other. And we'll go over the head and touch that elbow, rest the shoulder down. And same on the other arm. And then behind the back and a bit of a pull. And same on the other side. Good. Shake it out of the arms and we'll warm up the hips. Let those hips roll one way. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. Okay, circling the wrists. Got a lot of work to do with that sword in the hands, one way and the other. One more time, first way and the second. Oh, a little eagle claw, just kind of grab. So you're grabbing into a claw position. Grab. Good. Stretching the fingers back. And same on the other side. Pushing that wrist in. And same on the other side. And we'll shake it all out. Let's grab up our weapons and let's get ourselves warmed up with our cut practice. So let's start out with our, as we usually do, with our downwards diagonal cuts. So we're coming across and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Remember to work as hard as you can on matching your edge angle and your cut angle together. And we're not smacking, we are pulling those cuts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll go back to the dominant arm for our rising diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll go to non-dominant arm. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's go back to the dominant arm and let's work on verticals on the same side of the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do the same on the other arm, same side of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. First arm crossing over to the opposite side and circling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's continue our last few cuts with our horizontals. 1 is where we let it wrap around, touching in on the forearm and pushing back off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the non-dominant arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's work on the chop that we're seeing in the next section of the set, the most recent section of the set. So this is where we're going to go around the back and chop. So we go around and chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do the same on the other arm. Over, kind of drapes, slides up, and chops down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Good. Let's do some wrist strengthening today. This also helps a lot with our deflections and short cutting kind of motions. So we're going to start with rising and rise. And we're going to get that into the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the non-dominant arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one more for the wrist. Let's go down and back. So we're using the back of the blade, 1, and then back of the blade on the other side. So we're tipping that in and back. One side of the body and the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the other arm. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's do one last warm up today, and that will be our walking pattern, where we're talking about stepping in with the rise and cut, rolling back, and stepping through with the backhand. So we're stepping in with the forehand rising, roll back, and then we get a 1, 2. We draw in and we go. So we're kind of getting this idea of winding up, stepping in and following through, pulling back, winding up, step in, 1, 2. So we go one side, step through, roll back, and other side. One side, 1, 2, other leg forward, 3, and out. Lead leg same as the arm, the sword carrying arm. Lead leg on the opposite. Just a few more. So step in and step in. Step in and step in. Good. Last 15, 20 seconds here. And step through. Step in. Step through. And 2. Good. Okay, let's switch things up a little bit today. And let's start out our form work by going through the form up until our gather around and chop technique. So starting out, feet side by side. We have that supporting underneath the sword. We're working on this near the beginning of all of our lessons so we can let it rest on the forearm as we settle. We're stepping out, getting that nice moment of transition through into the left hip where we reach out the sword. Then we're rolling back, we're pulling and pivoting using the forearm as our fulcrum and draw that in where we stomp. We're dropping the sword, we're creating a nice big open frame for post, and we're going fist and resting on top of that. We're going to brush the right leg as we step it back. We're going to circle underneath with the pommel and raise the blade up, this time right hand up over the head. We're then going to get ready for our transfer. So we've got that sandwiching of the hands, and then we're going to bring our other arm around as we pick up the left leg. As we step through with the left and pick up the right, we're going to cut down. So at the sword tip and the fingertips, are facing below the knee and inwards. Now we get our deflection. We push out to the side. We're stepping through with the left leg, and we get our first thrust. Now this we talked about could be a cut up to the corner as we roll back, or a deflection. And now we're getting our first of the reinforced pressing blocks. So we step out with the right leg on a 45 and push the sword out. We're going to roll back by dropping the blade down and stepping back with the right. And then we pick up the left leg and we press the sword up high. And we step out with the left and press the sword out high. We're going to pick up our right leg, sword over the head. We're going to step out. We're going to pick up the left leg and chop down. We're going to come underneath and step through. There's that sequence we were just kind of working on. Then we're going to pull back and we're going to step into that reinforced rising cut. This is where we drew the sword down and in. We're turning the palm towards our body. And then we step out with the left and press the sword up high and the palm out. We're going to turn and rest the sword over our right shoulder. Then we're turning into the hook stance with our right leg as we cover our left hand over right. And then we're going to thrust out to the 45 and then step into palm strike. We're going to roll back. Here's what we were just working on. We're going to cloak over the head. But this is where we went to that hook stance and palm strike. Now we're going to brush the left leg and we're going to chop down. And that's where we said we were going to leave things for now. So let's go through that a couple times. So, open and settle and step. Turn, lift, cut under and settle, stomp. Step through, present, brush the right leg, gather with the sword up, and right hand over the head. Getting ready to transfer. We're resting that sword on the arm. We're stepping through 1, 2. Then we're going to deflect. Get ready for that first thrust. Through 1. Good. We roll back. And we're stepping to the 45 with our press block. We drop the sword down as we step back. We lift the sword up as we lift up into crane. And then we step out and push out. We're going to pick up the right leg. Then we're going to pick up the left as we chop. Circling underneath, we get that nice step through and rising cut. We pull that back. We step out on a 45 to the right and rise and cut reinforced. Draw in, press out, turning by bringing it over, resting it on the right shoulder, turning out with the right foot so we can pick up that left foot into crane and thrust behind before pressing with a palm strike. We're going to roll back. We're going to bring the sword around and over our left shoulder. And as we step into hook stance, we're going to press that palm out. Then we're going to brush the left leg and chop. One more time, facing this way. So 1 and 2, stepping out. Pivoting on the right, raising the sword up, rolling back into the right foot. Stomp with the left. Step through, Present. Brush the right leg. Cover under and settling into your right. We're going to transfer the sword. Step through, cut low, horizontal. Deflect. Brush and thrust. Roll back. Stepping to deflect. Then we roll back, 1, 2, lift up high, and press out with that reinforced block up high. Right leg rises into crane. Left leg as we chop. Palm turns up, then circles under, and we cut 1. We roll back, we step to the 45, reinforced, cut 2. Then we draw in, and we press out. So we're 45 degrees facing off of our original line. Now as we turn into our hook stance, our sword is facing 45 degrees in the other direction, and that's the direction that we get our thrust. Now we're going to step through palm. We roll back. As we roll back, we're going palm in. We're covering. We're stepping out to that palm strike. Then we brush the left leg and chop down. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's see, hopefully we'll have some time to go through that once more before the end of the session. But let's move into a movement pattern that gets repeated a few times as a sort of sequence in the set, and it's kind of next thing coming up anyway. So we're going to have that roll and push that we get at the beginning of the warm-ups, where we're kind of cutting through and pressing back. We're going to have a bit of that going on in here. We practiced for a little while this roll to the side brush, and we said at the beginning of the set that thrust was with the palm sideways, but later it was going to come up over the head, so we're going to have that as well. What we're also going to get involved with is inside turns. So what we have to be able to do is roll back, turn in, settle the weight, and step out. Roll back, turn in, settle the weight, step out. So this is going to be a part of that next piece of the puzzle here, where we are able to turn from side to side. So turning in one foot and stepping out, turning in, weighting the foot, and stepping out. So we want to be able to make that turn happen. And as we make that turn happen, of course, we're going to have to be doing something with the sword at the same time. So we're going to be thinking a little bit about these vertical kind of cuts that we are working on, because we're going to be draping and cutting. So we're going to have this kind of resting on the arm. So we want to be able to kind of have the arm support that side of the sword. We want to let some of the weight of the sword go in. So if you were to drop the arm, the sword would drop a little bit too, because the weight of the sword is sitting on the arm. So that's going to be kind of what we pull this off of. So we're going to be able to pull through to chop. So we're going to end up with a sequence that's going to go chop, deflect, thrust, cut horizontal, but in with the pommel. So we're going to be doing some pommel striking kind of work here, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's try and set this up, and we'll get more details as we put it into the set. But for today, let's block it out a little bit. So let's say here we got our left leg forward, and let's go with the sword down. We've done sort of a deflecting kind of motion. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide this left hand just so it's touching a little bit. And as we turn, we're going to chop and we're going to pick up the right leg. Then we're going to step in to palm strike before we roll back, deflect, step and thrust right up over the head. We're going to cut horizontal. We're going to present out, and then we're going to turn. So we're going to let that sword rest as we turn in. As we chop down, we're going to pick up, or cut down, we're going to pick up the right leg, and then we're going to step in with a palm strike with the left. Then we're going to do our deflect and stir the pot. As we brush the left leg, we step through for the thrust. We turn that into a horizontal kind of drawback. We rest in on the forearm. We press out. And now we can just make this a nice continuous motion. So we're going to turn in. As we sit back in that left leg, we're going to cut down with the sword, pick up the right leg, gather up the left hand so that we can palm strike. Then we're going to roll back, deflect, step through to thrust. Then we're going to go horizontal cut as we roll back, pressure as we come forward, turn in, sit back, cut down, pick up that arm, palm press, roll back, deflect out, stir the pot as you step through and wind up. So you get your thrust, forward, horizontal cut, press with the pommel, turn, chop, or cut, palm strike as you step, roll back, deflect, brush and thrust, horizontal cuts through and rests on the forearm, press out, turn, sword, palm, deflect, thrust, horizontal, pommel strike, turn, cut down, draw in the right leg, step out, palm strike, drop the tip of the sword, deflect, stir the pot, wind that up. Remember, we want the tip to thrust first with the edge down, and then we spiral that to edge sideways. We cut across, draw in, step out, resting with the sword, and then again we can turn in, cut down, palm strike, deflect, brush and thrust, horizontal and press. Last one for now. Turn, cut, palm strike, deflect, thrust sideways, horizontal cut, present, and the pattern can continue. We can't because we've run out of time for today, but that pattern can just keep going. So it's a really good one to kind of, again, if you want to you don't want to take on the whole set, and you just want to work on some nice flow movements, moving from cuts to thrusts, adding in turns, getting that feeling of supporting and working the blade. So we're coming across and we allow that to rest. Then it's resting on the arm. So when we're doing this other times, we kind of pivot through and push. But this time we're kind of using that arm to help with the cutting down on the other side. And that's also what helps that arm to wind up. and get our palm strike in there. Okay, we're going to let it go. And I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the program in 2025. Our next sword class will be, I think it's the 6th of January, somewhere around there, 5th of January. I don't know what that Monday is. After New Year's, first Monday after the New Year's break, Christmas break, we'll be back. I'll post all that in terms of dates and stuff up on the website. Thanks for training today. And if you got questions, directions, and pacing ideas for when we come back in the new year, we'll be adding in this new section that we just looked at. And we're going to get 3 kind of variations of that. Then we're going to get into some interesting stuff. We're going to start using the sword in the other arm so we can box ears with our sword in the non-dominant hand. There's going to be some nice kicking motions in here. There's going to be, spinning and scything people down all around. Oh, we're going to have a ton of fun when we come back in the new year. All right. Thanks for training today. Thanks for being a part of it. And we'll talk to you all soon.